What is up? Welcome back to another video. It is Monday, so let's get into the news.
Bronco. Bronco. Smooth as silk. Bronco. Built for fun. Bronco. Blazing a new trail of excitement.
You talking about gas, we up in the forest. Straight from the gump, no forest. Why open like a forest? Who you talking about? Forest Whitaker.
Remember, if you join the channel, you get access to exclusive content, early access to other content. Can't join the channel? Completely fine. Just like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on future content. I appreciate the support all the same. And disclaimer, I'm actually recording this many days before Monday as I will be out of town. And I wanted to get this shot and edited before I went out of town in the anticipation of me being out of town, so I wouldn't have to bring the camera and the setup and all that stuff. If exciting things happen over the weekend, there might be an updated news video. There might also just have to be news that gets carried into the following week. I wanted to kind of touch on the tariffs a little bit because I made a claim a few weeks ago where I was like, I'm not really going to talk about the tariffs unless they come into effect, blah, blah, blah. As I recorded that and said that, there was a 90-day pause put on, I believe, like the next day. So tariffs for the majority of countries shipping to America were lowered to just the 10%, except for China, which was then 50%, and then that got moved up to 100-something percent, and then 145%. Then it was excluding electronics, then it wasn't excluding electronics. So all I'm trying to say is the tariff fluctuations seem to be pretty rampant and seem to be pretty chaotic isn't the right word, but it's somewhere along those lines. So I don't really feel like it would be particularly easy for me to like sit down and map out, okay, so if the tariffs here from this country are this high, then that could increase or decrease the price of this thing by this much. That's something to look out for. I don't really know how to do that in a way that like will keep it timely and stuff, and also I just don't know if it's entirely worth my while at this given moment. So I will probably put together some kind of tariff guide if they become a little bit more stable. But I think the thing that will happen, and we're kind of seeing this, is other countries are putting retaliatory tariffs on US products, specifically the EU. There's been some hearings about how they're going to go about doing that. So I think what we could see is while the American tariffs are kind of up in the air. Sometimes they're on, sometimes they're off, sometimes they're high, sometimes they're low. I think we could start seeing other countries start levying more legitimate and more consistent tariffs against American products. So that would obviously affect the pricing of Kodak products, Cinestill products, anything that is from America, as it were. We'll just have to see how that shakes out in the future. Speaking of things we'll have to see how that shake out in the future, the Antitrust lawsuit situation case against Meta began last week, I believe it was, April 14th. And this is going to be going on for the next few months, I believe. There's some testimony from whistleblowers. The FTC is basically trying to figure out whether or not Meta was practicing anti-competitive practices, monopolistic practices in its purchasing of Instagram and WhatsApp, making the marketplace not as competitive as possible for social media platforms and other stuff like that. It's a very interesting situation, and I think it'll be kind of like a landmark case for future social media conglomerates, depending on like how things shake out. And ultimately, I think that what that delivers for creators, content creators, is if it does go through that they're not a monopoly, then we could see them potentially buying up more things. Who knows, maybe getting a stake of TikTok, potentially. unclear. That's just me speculating. If, however, it is labeled a monopoly, they could be forced to sell off Instagram, sell off WhatsApp, which would be very fascinating because Instagram has become kind of a platform that's not entirely friendly to photography. You know, a lot of your success relies on the variety of content that you post. That has to be reels, that has to be carousels, which is a collection of images. You can't just post pictures anymore. It has to be all sorts of stuff. So if that's in someone else's hands, maybe that could be different. Maybe it could be better. Maybe it could be worse. Who knows? But I think the overall outcome of the antitrust lawsuit is going to be somewhat affecting the future of a lot of creators, photographers, videographers, whatever you want to call it. So I'll probably be keeping you up to date on that. And then we have a new product from our friends at Reflx Labs. They've released a new flash. This is a very, very small looking flash. Has 4 different levels of adjustment. It is rechargeable as well, so you don't have to worry about batteries in it, which is very helpful. USB-C charging point, and it only costs $29.99 right now. It's on sale. So if you are in the market for a very small, very flat flash, something you should check out. It's a little bit bigger than their really small flash, but it looks like it's the same kind of profile, the same kind of layout. There also is a new Polaroid camera out, the Polaroid Flip. They are looking at $199 for the starting cost, and it has this really nice retro-futuristic style, has really sharp optics, has a pretty clear display overall. One of the photos that they chose to include was a picture of 2 old people kissing, which is a strong choice. But I guess it kind of goes to show what life memories you could capture with this camera. Yeah, so there's a lot of playing to the hits here in terms of the styling of it, but it does have some modern equipment such as autofocus, making sure that the focus is fast. You have a pretty decent flash on there as well, it looks like. That could be kind of nice if you are in the market for an instant camera. I would say it's between this and the Instax Mini 41 that is coming out as well. So very convenient timing for both of those coming out, going into the summer months here, where there's going to be a lot of people on vacation, a lot of people hanging out with friends and family. Instant photography really lends itself to those little moments like that. So it'll be interesting to see the comparison between the two and, you know, what people prefer versus what they don't prefer, I guess. I had a train of thought there, but that's okay. All right, now the last bit of news is not necessarily news per se. It's kind of news, kind of not, but it will be news of an upcoming video, which is going to be the full review of Analog Cafe's Gold program on his site. The main things I want to talk about are going to be the features that you can get with the Gold membership, specifically Film Q, the film price trends, the chem log, any sorts of these things that are on the site that I just think are really interesting and helpful tools to have. I will do a review of those in the near future, so stay tuned for that. And as always, check out Analog Cafe. He's got a great site going over different film cameras, talking about news stories, giving his opinion on all of that stuff. It's a wonderful resource. If you watch my videos about the news, you're like, man, I can't wait to hear more about it. Check out his site. You will not be disappointed. I just got this in the mail today from Lomography. Okay. Ooh, we have the Lomo Daylight Developing Tank. So I'll be doing a review on this as well in the future. So if you were curious about this product, I certainly was, and now I have one to test. So I'll be doing that soon. I need chemicals, but there we are. Very excited to give it a shot. They also sent some film. So we got 2 rolls of black and white, 100 and 400 speed, which will be good because I'll just get some black and white chems, develop in there, and call it a day. And for the rest of this, got a little keychain. I'll have a proper unboxing on this. I'll have a review video out soon. I will also have a review video out on Analog Gold Cafe. So much quality content to look forward to. So make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on that and the rest of the stuff I have coming out, which I can tell you is quite a lot. I got like a list, okay? Big list of all the kinds of reviews and video project ideas. So if you want a piece of that action, make sure to subscribe, like the video, Even join the channel if you want to have some influence on other projects that are coming out. Thank you so much for watching, as always. I appreciate it. Like the video if you enjoy it. Again, if you haven't already, make sure to do that. Subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one.